All right, it's everyone's favorite time of the week, AT&T Fan Connection. And Jordan, it's always your favorite time of the week. What have you graced us with? What jersey? Oh, that's the Brooklyn jersey, right?
Brooklyn, yep.
USL, it's your squad.
Brooklyn what? What's the...
It's Brooklyn FC. It's the USLW League, right?
USL Super League.
They
Super
have
League,
Liquid Death on their jersey?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dope jersey.
Yeah.
What's happening?
It was fun. I think we went there in like March, maybe. It was cold, man. Oof.
Yeah.
Where do they play? What's the stadium?
Oh, Landon, they play in like the coolest place ever. So they play at a baseball stadium, but it has Coney Island, right, like the amusement park right behind it. So when you're watching the game, you're just like watching people all on the cyclone and stuff. It's
Isn't
really
that
cool.
where they do the hot dog thing?
Yeah. Did you have a Nathan's Famous Frank?
I didn't. I think I was just like too cold to even eat anything while we were there in March, but I want to go back.
Questions?
Sure, LD. I have a question for you.
Yep.
This one is from Ben via YouTube. Landon, how do you feel about MLS overstepping San Diego Loyal to create SDFC separately? Will you still support them? This question is obviously from a long time ago, but I'm still interested to hear what you have to say about that.
How do I feel about it? It was frustrating. It's like the analogy I use is if you own a like mom and pop coffee shop that's really successful, but Starbucks moves in across the street, it's hard to keep your business going. And selfishly, I would have loved if Loyal could have stayed afloat still and had its own market and its own fan base and whatever. But I also understand our owner wanting to pull the plug because it was just going to be such an uphill battle. So obviously, you guys know how I feel about MLS. Love it. It's done so much for me. I understand it from Garber's standpoint. I think the way it was handled was poor from the SDFC people. I think they could have done a better job incorporating many of us who have, tried to help build soccer in San Diego, but that's beyond our control, right? And so, still happy for the city. I'm still happy that it's been great for our city. It really has been. But I miss Loyal, and I wish it was still around.
LD, let me ask you: Is there a world? I know initially on the surface, finances dictate, and probably say no. Is there a world where Loyal could have existed?
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually, it's hard to predict what would have happened, right? Mm-hmm. But our fan base, it was interesting to hear Gabe Hoffman-Johnson talk about it because our fans and the fan base were built on, yes, soccer, and there's deep love for soccer, but it was more like this connection to San Diego and to what we were doing. And they all they genuinely, Tim, felt part of it. I know everyone says that, and it's a lot of times it's bullshit. But, MLS is a machine, right? Yeah. And there's not that same connection with the fans to SDFC. There's just not, because they were never part of it, right? In the beginning process.
Yep.
But it's a great product. It's a great entertainment option, and the team's great too, right? So people are going to go. There's just not that genuine connection. Financially, it was just hard for our owner because he was losing money. If you take the risk and half of your fan base leaves to SDFC and doesn't come anymore, now you're losing a lot of money, and you took that risk. So I understand from his standpoint. I wish it could have stayed, but it's just the reality.
Fair.
Okay, let's talk about goalies. This next one is from goalies. Justin via email. Do you guys know anything about goalies? I was just curious, what are some things that go into selecting a goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team? It seems to me like Pochettino is dead set on selecting younger guys like Matt Freese or Matt Turner. However, there are some great contenders when it comes to MLS that are a little older that seem to get no recognition at all. Is it just overall saves, experience with PKs, or the competition they face on their club teams? Are younger players prioritized for the goalie position because it requires laying your body on the line more?
Tim, you answer. That's actually a good question. I have follow-up questions.
It's a good question. I used to think I knew, but I clearly have no idea. No, you don't select younger goalkeepers. You always select older goalkeepers who are slightly in their prime, unless they're just a completely generational talent. Because you learn, basically why goalkeepers get better with age, because you just continually fail for like a decade or more, and then you have this like catalog of experience to draw from. So no, and obviously you can be athletic as you get older, but I don't know. And to answer the question about being athletic, the nuances and the sage that comes through that experience is far more valuable to goalkeeper position than being an athlete. That obviously helps. But I don't know. I don't know. I was actually going to ask this in our opening segment, LD. I just kind of think, if for me, if Matt Freese plays against Australia, I don't know if you have inside information, then I think he just plays every game now between now and the World Cup.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
that's kind of my benchmark. I'll be wrong because there'll be a game where Pochettino will give one of his goalkeepers something. But I also then go back to the fact, and I've said this to you, like I can't imagine Matt Freese starting in the World Cup with so little international experience. That being said, like I think if he plays against Australia, then you're like, all right, you got to get every game between now and the World Cup just to give you more experience. So I don't know. I it used to be a kind of a, and we haven't had this for a while, but when you look at goalkeepers, and Landon, you can attest to this, oftentimes you have a number one, right, that plays all the time. And then you bring through one or two others, and they're along for the ride to gain experience. And then when the number one goes, either because of age or because you've gotten better than them, then you take over, right? And so there's this long progression. We probably see it with Donnarumma and Gigi Buffon. You could probably talk about Edwin van der Sar and Stecklenburg, who came after him. I could probably name a ton of them, right? But we've had that in America for a long time. We haven't had it this time.
Yeah, you're right. Because there hasn't been like a firm Matt Turner for a while, but not like a firm number one, and then
like a firm older number one,
firm
right?
number two who you knew this was the next guy. Like you did it too, right? You were behind
it's almost like
Casey and Brad.
It's almost like this. We're going to give it to this guy. He knows, he's got to play well for his club. He's got to bide his time, and then he's going to kind of grow up that mountain.
So my question, Tim, for you is how much with the national team, how much impact or voice or influence does the goalkeeper coach have versus the man? Does it vary based on the staff? Does it, is the Matt Freese decision, is this the goalkeeper coach or is this Pochettino?
Yeah. Well,
I always wondered that.
I think it depends in every situation how much trust the manager has in the goalkeeper. Because people will be surprised at this. I know top level coaches, like some of the best in the world, that literally LD will go, I don't want to know. I don't know anything about goalkeeping. I know nothing about goalkeeping.
Right.
You
tell me who to play.
My goalkeeper, tell me who to play. Right.
Wow.
That's a fact.
Wow.
But I also sort of kind of think that like when it comes to the question, one of the questions, part of that question was like, there's MLS goalkeepers who are doing well. Landon, I believe this. You can be a good goalkeeper. When it comes to a particular country, there's only like 2 or 3 international level goalkeepers. Like America doesn't have 4, 5, 6 really good goalkeepers who are playing in the MLS or playing abroad that could play for the national team and succeed. It's such a different level. And so when I look, and we saw that, there was, and I won't name names, but I could probably name 5 guys that are from our era that were outstanding MLS goalkeepers. Brilliant. You've played with a couple of them. They weren't national team goalkeepers, but every year they were a candidate for goalkeeper of the year in the MLS. So, it's a weird old balance.
Okay, how about I think all the questions you guys answer are fun, but this is what I think is a pretty fun one. This one's from Brian via email. What are your guys' thoughts on the chants for the U.S.? Not chants, chants. The Kelsey brothers said on New Heights, the I Believe chant is not all that great. Some of the chants around MLS are kind of cringy, to be honest. I've heard some crowds doing a rendition of If You're Happy and You Know It. Should the American Outlaws start singing the Team America theme song? Brian, I just want to say, if we can get the fans at a USMNT game to start going, America, that would be amazing.
Wait a minute.
I'd love for that.
Wait a minute. Did you just say Travis Kelce's talking shit about me?
What? You?
I'm only teasing.
What's he going, Adam?
You're trying to start
You trying to come on our show? You want me on your show? I dare you. Let's go. No, actually, he had a beast of a game last night, by the way.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he did. Okay.
He was unbelievable. There's some chance that might need a little bit of spicing up, shall we say? LD?
I'm generalizing, but the majority of the chants, US fans in MLS, I don't want to say like good or bad because it's all subjective. They're just boring, or they're old and used, or they're so uncreative. And so like chanting someone's name, Timmy Howard, it's like, guys, do something fun.
Yeah.
If you scroll through your social media, Instagram, and like you come across something that's like fun or famous chants in the UK,
Yeah.
they're so creative and brilliant, whether you like it or not. At least people sat down, thought about it for a long time,
Yeah.
and made a really good chant that's funny. So like people used to talking about my hair. I remember this in Dallas. These guys were so boring. I'd be warming up and we'd be shooting, and behind the goal they'd be going, Rogaine, Rogaine. And I'm like, all right, kind of fun, but like make up a fun song about how I'm bald.
Yeah.
You know, like be creative. And so JR, I don't know how you feel, but like I'm like, just be creative. Think of something new.
I feel like this is one of those places where we have to bow to the English superiority, because like there was a really funny meme going around the internet for a while that was like American fans, like something very simple that involves a lot of clapping, right? And then it was like English fans, like, all right, we're going to do a whole song about the goalkeeper's arrest record to the tune of Frankie and Johnny at the Claire de Lune. I'll count us in. And it's like, they're so
different.
It's amazing. Like, yes, there are a lot of teams that have like their own songs and stuff like that, but just the creativity behind it, I think is,
the interesting part about, like, it's really funny because the interesting part about like the English fans is, as you said, it's constant, right? So every time they like sign a new player, they'll like have a chant for him, like ready-made, like they score a goal, and then all of a sudden it's like this new guy that came from like France. They already have a song for him.
Totally.
And then like, and they also do clever moments, right? So that lives in infamy. And like,
that's right.
If they score a goal against a particular rival, they have this song, and it's about that singular moment, but the song lasts forever. And the other part that which is, I only learned this when I moved over there. It's such a part of the culture, JR. So like, if my team at a certain point, or I've even seen it beating the pants off of another team, and they're losing 3 or 4-0, their crowd just starts singing songs about because they're like, we've lost. I've paid good money to come here. I've had a few beers, getting on the bus to go home. Still want to have fun for the last 20 minutes. So they just start singing songs about their team and their club. And it's like, there's just so much thought. It's clever. I don't know. Yeah, so we could spice it up.
And sometimes they're not even singing good songs about them. You know, it's like you beat us, and like so does everybody else. You're not special.
Totally. Yeah. So Andrew just said this. He's so true. He put it in the chat. The fan where people say you can't do that. Like if you get I'm like, that's so dumb. Okay, so to your point, JR. So when I was at Leverkusen, Mainz is a team in Germany. And Mainz every year has this huge carnival. And it's in Germany, it's very famous, right? And so they were like bottom of the Bundesliga. They were losing to Leverkusen, I remember. And I would think I was sitting in the crowd or something. And they were singing, Wir sind nur ein Karnevalsverein, and which means we are just a carnival club. Like we're not a real soccer club. So they're getting their ass kicked, and that's what they're singing, right? And it's so good. Like it's so clever. And then the other one, Timmy, I'll never forget when you went to United. And you know this, and you've been open about like Tourette's and written about it in your book or whatever. And so when Timmy was at United, I remember hearing them sing one day, Tim Timony, Tim Timony, Tim Tim Taroo. We've got Tim Howard, and he says, you, right? So it was like, they're so clever, and like even on their own players, and it was so brilliant. I just loved it.
You know, it's funny. So a lot of times I'm thinking of Goodison Park. So in the first half, the stands to the right would all be the supporters, or sorry, away supporters. So they would constantly, and it kind of caught on at the end, they'd start singing, swear in a minute, he's gonna swear in a minute, right? So I'd look over and I'd go, right, like jokingly, and they'd all start cheering, and like, and they'd start going crazy, and I'd let it build a little bit, and then I would obviously lip a curse word to them because if they wanted, and they'd go bananas. It was so funny. They'd start like getting crazy.
All right, so be more creative, US.
Be more creative.
Come on, just go sit in a bar, have some drinks, and like start writing, start figuring stuff out. Like be better.
Right. Easy.
Great
I agree.
question.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
JR.